It's been awesome. You know, it's competition after competition. Every day it's so much hard work that you have to put in and stay consistent with it. And the next day you get an opportunity to get better at it. And that's what I try to do every day, starting in the spring, right? Stacking my days and trying to learn what I didn't know before, all these little details. It's so crucial. You know, fall camp, you go against your ones like O-line, OJ, you have K, right? So it's crucial to learn and adapt as you go through fall camp. So it's been great so far.
How have you changed over the last? I mean, we saw you 6 months ago. You stopped by, and you look like you got a haircut. You look a lot more lean and fit. I mean, mentally, physically, how have you changed since you came to Boise State?
I've changed for the better. That's all I know, right? It's been great because mainly, like I said earlier, there's so many details in the game that I never got to really learn going from high school straight to college, right? Only 2 years of experience, those little things, 6 inches of a step, right? Like I didn't know those things. And now we focus so much on those things that make me a better athlete, a better defensive end. Physically, I've been working out, as you can see. You know, I've been trying to stay strong and take care of my body, flexible and mobility in the mornings. Mentally, I've been getting into cognitive, what's the word? Meditation. Trying to focus on meditation, engage with my brain, control, concentrate. So it's been, like I said, change for the better. It's only up from here. I'm excited.
We've heard that you're the first guy in here. Can you each morning? Can you take us through a little bit of your morning routine, and then is that a goal of yours to literally be the first person in the building, or is that just part of the routine?
It used to be a goal, but now it's just part of the routine. You know, it's a standard. You just wake up in the morning. I have to wake up my wife too, because I can't be late, so she's always there for me, and she gives me a ride in the morning. I'm here early, and I get in to start my day. I put my music in the speakers in the locker room just to wake up. Sometimes I play jazz music in the morning to just go with the flow, be grateful, remind myself what I'm grateful for. After that, I start my day with some mobility stretches and things like that for 30 minutes. I get in the hot tub, cold tub, hot tub, and finish with a quick dip in the cold tub to get my own nervous systems and, just to wake up. And after that, I have about 30 to 45 minutes to watch film before practice, before meetings. So I go upstairs, have my coffee with some hazelnut creamery in there, and I'm locked in after that.
What time does your alarm go off? What time do you enter the building?
I enter the building by 5:30 or so. So my alarm goes off at 5, trying not to rush myself in the morning, just wake up peacefully, and like I said, going back to meditation, focus on those things, and I'm here by 5:30 tops, maybe 5:45 if that.
So if you're here that early in the morning, that also means that you gotta have a night routine to shut this thing down too.
Oh yeah,
right? So
yeah.
What's more important, that or really getting up early part? Because one feeds the other, obviously, you don't want to be tired.
Right, it's both. Sometimes during fall camp, we get off at 9 o'clock, right? So I will have to really put attention into meditating to release my mind from all the external factors, right? And that will help me actually sleep better when I have a shorter time up here to sleep. Now that we don't get off at 9 and I have time to go home and relax, I'm able to go to bed by 9:30, 10. I'm in bed by 9 o'clock. After that, it's spending time with my wife, talking, 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'm asleep.
What does your meditation process look like?
It's interesting. I've developed a way of telling myself that I call it creative thinking. So I pretty much get into it, trying to focus on my body first and find my, not my heartbeats, just the beats around my body, like on my toe, right? Starting from there all the way up to my brain. And then I take myself out of it, and it's like I'm a ghost, and I'm exploring things. And a lot of times I experience things that I haven't seen before. It's just adding ideas together, all these things together, and it's almost like creative, right? You know what I mean? You don't know what to expect. So it's really interesting sometimes. I get scared sometimes, like being in a dream, and you're like, oh shit.
They say Jamal Murray, he's an NBA player, he does that stuff, and he like visualizes the game before it happens. Is that something that you do?
I do, and I try not to do it at night because my adrenaline levels go through the roof. Let me tell you, I just get my heartbeat going. I'm like, oh, I'm about to make a sack, right? I'm thinking about it. My heart's going, oh. And then I can't sleep. So during the night, I try to relax and just, when I get to that high level of adrenaline. I'm trying to bring it down, focus back on my breath. But before the game, starting in the morning, that's when I start focusing on controlling my adrenaline and being in control of my own emotions. So when the game comes, I can just go back to it and I see it again.
And so how does that extra mental preparation, you visualize the game, you see what happens before it does. When you hop on the field, how does that, change?
Oh, you have no fear. You know what's coming. It's like they tell you to plan your day the night before. You're like, oh, I wake up, I might be tired in the morning, but I'll be okay. I'll go drink a glass of water and I'll wake up. So when that happens in the game and you're like, oh, it's gonna be a pass on 3rd and 2, on the 30-yard line for whatever reason. You're like, okay, I've seen this, I expect it. Boom. And you react way much faster than you would otherwise.
You spent the last 8 months getting your body and your mind ready, and a lot of it seems like it's very methodical for you. At one point next week, do you kind of just unleash the beast and go physical and crazy?
Yes.
And do you think about that and have a process for that?
Yes, so my whole concept is, for my personal development, was to stop thinking as much, because I was trying to learn the game more and more and more. So when game time comes, I've put my brain through those situations. So I don't have to think anymore. I just go with the first instinct. I see if I'm ahead of him, I'm gonna beat him off the edge. If I'm not ahead of him, bull rush, right? And etc. So.
What is this part of what you did at all in your previous stop? I mean, I remember, back in February when we talked to you, you said you were so excited to be here because of learning about all the small things. We barely even talked to you about actual football.
Right.
So was this part of your routine before, and how much is this kind of feeding everything that will help make you successful?
So I was getting into, he's a scientist. He has his own podcast, Huberman Lab, and he talks about your nervous system and how your body works pretty much. And I was so fascinated with how your body works and how you could be in control of all those things, right? Your brain, your nervous system, so your reaction. And my plan was to be able to develop myself in that level where I'm at my best of controlling my own body. Because at the end of the day, you control what you can control, and that's yourself. And if you control your entire self, you're in a better spot than somebody that's lost in the crowd. You know what I mean? So my personal development on that would be a major impact, definitely.
We do a lot of these interviews during fall camp. So here's my weird personal question. Are you different on this football team?
Different as a...
Whichever way you want to take that. Do you feel like that you're a different kind of cat on this roster?
Coming from the spring to the fall, yes. Personally, I've been putting in all the extra work in the mental part, in the individual part, and getting my pass rush down to narrowing down to simpler things. It just made me think differently so much more than somebody else who's worried about what the call is, right? And that's part of preparation. Domination starts in the preparation. So I feel like personally, I put in enough time into my personal preparation and for the game preparation, where it makes my game a lot more different.
Your personal preparation, are you by yourself, or do you have a partner on the team you do all this other stuff with, or is it mostly just you?
I try to bring teammates with me. I try all the time, and they're there with me too. I have, Andy, he was always there with me in '93, right? Dimitri, now we have Isaiah in the group with some packages, right? And it's just nice. That feeling is like you're feeling like you're helping somebody else throughout the day, making an impact. And just doing that, to me, that's what it's all about, making an impact. So it starts where you live at, in your house. So.
What motivates you when you wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock?
What motivates me in the morning is I ask myself, what kind of person I'm going to be today? Am I going to be whining and, complain, or am I going to do my best of my ability to make an impact for myself and my family in the future? So.
How much are you just happy to be here? And I guess, what does it mean to you to be here and be ready for this season at Boise State and with everything you have? How much does this mean to you?
It means a lot. That was my first day I came out of Greece, and I could never, I could imagine myself out of high school playing for the Broncos, but it didn't happen that way. But now it's all starting, it was all happen for a reason, right? It's just coming together, and I got lucky with the coaches we have, the competition we have, and it's just starting to connect the dots, and it all makes sense. It was meant to happen. So it's more than enough that I can ask for.
What was your role at Weber State? How did they use you, and how do you think you're going to be used here?
At Weber State, I started playing as a sophomore as a third backup, and that's when I was leading the team in sacks. And as that went on, the next year I was more of a starter. I was more of a leader. Same concept. I was a good defensive end to hold the edge, right? And I was doing my job right. I was making plays, and that's what I had to do. When you talk about Boise State, we play defense a little more aggressively with the defensive ends, and that allows me to really go out there and make plays and be the playmaker that I could really be. So that transformation and transition is critical to my success to be able to show what I can really do.
You've played a lot of college football. You've won a lot of games. You stepped up a level to Boise State for your final year of college ball. Did you come here with something to prove?
Oh, I did, definitely. Before even the season started, I claimed destroying quarterbacks is what I do, right? And it's my mission. Every time I'm on that field, I'm going to set the edge, I'm going to make the play, and I'm going to get a sack. After that, it's either going to be a fumble or an interception if I have to drop sometimes, right? So it's, like you said, it's my mission to represent who I really am.